Maybe you've seen a budget gaming phone before, but I'm pretty sure none of them go this hard for less than $250 US. Pressure-sensitive shoulder triggers, angular RGB lighting, and a back panel that looks like a decked-out gaming PC. It's really cool. It's the Infinix GT30, and while you can't actually buy this in the US, it is finally launching globally. I actually unboxed the GT30 on the Android Faithful podcast. Check it out. The fine folks at Infinix sent me a new phone to check out, and they reached out to me. They said, hey, do you want to check out the GT30? And the reason for this is that this is this is like a low to mid-range gaming focused smartphone that released a few months ago in India only. And there was going to be a global release. Well, that global release is now happening. It's not very wide still, Malaysia for now, and they have the intention to open it up to even more markets globally. We'll see what globally means. But this is coming in at around, if you were to put it into US dollars, even though you can't just go into a store and buy this in the US, but if you were to convert this to US dollars, it would be around $200, $222. Really, if you're in India, it's 19,499 rupees inside of this box. I haven't even opened it because it delivered shortly. Isn't that nice? Shortly before came in here for the show. And so I thought,
wait, Jason, before you take off that wrap, we got to talk about that sticker on the front. Okay. I've never seen such an aggressive sticker on a smartphone before. Why don't you read it out loud?
Specified.
Please use this specified. No lending, no disclosure. Violators will be prosecuted. What am I doing opening this box? It's a little late for that. I know I'm not a violator. They sent it to me.
There's an ocean between you. You'll be fine.
But neither of you. Okay, I'll just go ahead and say it. No one on this podcast or anyone else is getting this phone. It's mine for the review process. Okay. All right. Glad I got that out of the way. Yeah, it's important to note. I've never seen that sticker either. That's a little ominous, but I'm going to pretend like it doesn't exist because there's a fun phone in here. Okay. Anyways.
Wild.
Okay, so it doesn't have any of those little tabby tab things, so that's nice. Sometimes that throws me off. Let's see here. My video is backwards, so it's kind of hard for me. Okay, so what do we have here? This is like I said, like a low to mid-range smartphone, but targeting the kind of gaming side of these mobile phones. And primarily part of the reason for that, or part of the symbols of that, is that it has shoulder controls. Oh, okay. So you can see that little shoulder control thing glimmering in the light, that one as well. These are two areas of the phone that are basically pressure sensitive. So when you're gaming, you can push down on those and they act as separate buttons, kind of like a standard like gaming controller might be. We'll go ahead and take off the sticker that has a bunch of information on it. Okay. Throw that over there. You can see the back of the device has it's got a very multi-layered kind of quality to it. Very glimmery, totally giving gaming smartphone vibes. Oh, that's so cool how that thing right there just kind of like appears and disappears.
Very PC-ish.
It is. Kind of looks like it looks like a PC, like a gaming PC.
Like the way the ROG phone tries to do the thing.
Totally. Okay. Well,
I do like the camera too, by the way.
It's very, very kind of mute. Very muted. Very small.
It feels like a reasonable size. If I'm putting it up against the Pixel 10 Pro, which is what I have here, not the XL, it's a slight bit larger than that. Gotta say, so it's interesting as I'm looking at this kind of glass see-through thing on the back. It's almost like a nothing phone, but for gamers. You know what I mean? And I have the Nothing 3 here. I didn't intend to have this for this kind of comparison, but the Nothing 3 has kind of the see-through element, but it's just like standard like gaming parts, or at least that's what they model it after. This has a very similar approach. I don't know if this is glass or plastic. I'll have to look that up. I'm guessing it's probably some sort of a plastic layer here. Feels pretty sturdy, but the inside is very gamery, very flashy, angular, got a cool aesthetic, I have to say. And there's no like case on it or anything. No, that's just the way it is. So 6.78 inch, 1224p AMOLED display, 144 hertz refresh. You've got a MediaTek Dimensity 7400 inside, 8 gigs of LPDDR5X RAM, up to 256 gigs UFS 2.2 storage, 64 megapixel main camera, and an 8 megapixel ultra wide. And then on the front, you've got, I guess up there, you've got a 13 megapixel lens on the front. Your fingerprints will look different than mine, of course. 5,500 milliamp hour battery, 45 watt charging. It is running Android 15 out of the. Ooh, look at that! Did you see that?
Oh, I was wondering if it's going to light up at all.
Well, because it was starting up, it did the LED, these LEDs shooting around. So yeah, you missed it, Flo. You missed a real.
I was looking down. What the heck, Flo? You should have looked ahead.
So yeah, that is one of the special features, some rear LED lights that I'm sure once I have this all set up, we'll put out some, interesting colors. Like I pointed out, the shoulder triggers on both sides of the corners. So, and that's meant for gaming.
What?
But I think what's really unique about this is this is a gaming device with some gaming features, some very unique gaming features for a couple $100 converted, right? Not very much. So I'll be curious to see what markets this comes to outside of India, outside of Malaysia. If this is opening up to more global markets, hopefully that means it's opening up to a lot more places. Because I don't know, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't think of any $200 to $300 smartphones meant for gaming with kind of these different types of control mechanisms with that very unique LED patterning on the back for that brief moment that we saw it. Yeah, pretty interesting. I'm psyched to check this out. Yeah, wow. I'm not going to go.
I can't wait to hear what your experience is like with it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But you'll have to come at it with somebody. You have to come at it as somebody, not just on a budget, but somebody from a part of the world where, this really has to, this has to work for them.
Yeah.
For that price.
Just be a game phone. Right. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I love the patterning on the back. I think that's really cool. The way the light hits it, it feels very multidimensional. That is really neat. So yeah, the Infinix GT30 kind of, okay. Apparently I was scanning for a QR code there. The lower tier model, they came out with a Pro not too long ago. And so this is the lower tier model of it. And so I'll be curious to see how this treats me. And I'll be playing around with it. And I will certainly let you all know what I think over time. So there we go. Let's see here.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
So all right. What games are you going to be playing on it?
Well, that's a good question. What game should I play on it? I mean, I think the PUBG install is usually the one that I tend to go to first. But I'm always open to new games that actually make sense on that kind of control method. Like, what do you think?
Honestly, I don't really play many like Android mobile games anymore. It seems like the hottest thing for people to do in the enthusiast community now is literally emulate Windows games. Using I don't know if you saw
so
even The Verge published an article recently where they there's a new app called Game Hub that allows you to install and run Windows games on your Android phone.
I mean, I've been doing that with Xbox Game Pass. But that's
like streaming it from the cloud or streaming it from your thing. This is literally natively, technically local. Through emulation, but locally, yeah.
Interesting.
I would be kind of curious to see how much like a $200 budget gaming phone would handle those kind of games.
Yeah.
And also, Jason, I think you might have to play Genshin Impact.
That's another one that, yes.
Yeah, that's like...
I have been using that one lately as well. Yeah.
That one and Asphalt.
Yeah, Asphalt. Sometimes I throw that on there for the racing.
As a benchmark app kind of use.
Yep. Oh, but I will say I have one of these power doohickeys. This isn't going to work for me. It doesn't work here in the US, whatever they call this. It works overseas, but not here. So, which makes sense. This is a this is not a phone that you can find in the US. So anyways, I'll spend time with the Infinix GT30 and let you know what I think.